Hello everybody. Today I'm going to review the 2025 Classic Flying Scotsman, or the Trackmaster 3, 4, or whatever this is. I'm going to call it Motorized because it says on the box. And I'm going to review this item. So first thing first, if we take a look at the box. Here you can see the Flying Scotsman itself, and the two tenders, as well as that 80th anniversary logo on the front and on the top. Here is his promo picture from the CGI series. So it's this side, the other side, and of course the back of the box, which is flippin' nothing. Okay, now with that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it. I'm gonna do it off screen. As I was unboxing this, here's the instructions. Strangely, it shows the Trackmaster 2 Thomas for some strange reason. This is kind of weird considering that this does say 2025 in the instruction manual. So, yeah. And here it is, the Flying Scotsman. So, first things first, I actually really love the colors on the Flying Scotsman. I think it looks really better, it looks really good than the Trackmaster Revolution that came out exactly 9 years ago. Speaking of which, I'm going to compare the two right now. Put those tenders away, and let's take a look at the locomotives. Okay, right off the bat, the size is magnificently different compared to 9 years prior. Like, look at that. The proportions on this are just like kind of whacking all over the place. Like, here's the smoke box. Like, you can barely see the smoke box in this one. While on 2025, you can definitely see it alright. Like, look at those proportions. They're completely screwed over, just like Dreamline Engine 75 said in that one video.
I mean, you gotta love how overly long he is and how the proportions are completely screwed up.
Wow. Like, look at this. It looks like you did like a really rushed job with this one. Well, this one, we actually took the time and care we put into this one. And it actually looks more like the actual Flying Scotsman in the CGI series itself. I also like the side rods they give on the 2025 engines. You also have the molded ones. They kind of remind me of Duke, the Trackmaster Duke, because we basically got this the Series 8 ruler photos, where we based off the valve gear and those side rods attached to it. Kind of reminds me of that. And you can see the wheels are accurate. You can see one wheel here and here. Gives it a lot more accurate wheel configuration. Kind of reminds me of the Take-Along Goin' too, considering that they're both brothers, of course. While the 2016, just a 060 wheel arrangement with minimal care put into this other than the face. And of course, painted the buffers, which are Gorin's buffers. 2025 has like circular buffers, and I think the face on this one is a lot more aggressive than 2016's. Speaking of which, there's no lamp irons on the 2025 model. Trying to think of anything else to say about it, because I am in awe about the 2025 model. Yeah. I'm running out of ideas. Okay, I think I got some more to say. The landing board is red. This one is like green all over it, except for the buffer beam. This one feels like a fucking brick. Why? Because they reuse the Orange and Sco chassis. So I'll bring Percy up here for example. And yes, I modified Percy with moving side rods. Here. Like, look at that. They're the same size. And we also break the loading gauge, but I'll get to that later on. Because they both follow the red switch there. Now this is what the bottom looks like. 2021 Ghislaine Thomas Limited. And so it's the bottom. Yep. We also put on some a piece to put in the coupling because it is a long engine. And we also have that really long coupling that they used before in the Trackmaster Scruff. And it's also more of a metal darker gray compared to the 2016. This one's more like a lighter color. Feels cheap too. Oh, this one just, yeah, this is feels like a lot stronger. Speaking of which, I'm going to flame their tenders real quick to see how strong they really are. Okay, you ready? Let's compare this. Like, let's do a little smack test. Yeah, look how easy it is to get on the 2016. Compared to this. Yeah, they're just about the same. Anyways, let's move on to the tenders. Starting off with the actual tender itself, this one feels like it's cheap and nasty. We also have the lamp on the back and some buffers on the back and the front, kind of like the take along. So he has like steam clouds all over it, and this is like truck chassis or something like that. This one here feels like an actual tender. Well, actually, they just really use the same bottom part from the trucks they make, because it has buffers on the back, on the front, and the back. Also, if I'm missing the lamp on the back. And also, what's up with this weird line on the 2016 model? Alright, this one actually has a lot more detail on the back compared to 2025. Okay, that's the tender, and now for the water tank. I should also mention that the numbers and lettering are more closer together on 2025 compared to 2016, which is more spread farther apart. Okay, that's... This one has a lot more detail on the water tanker. Well, minus the back, of course, because 2016 did a lot better. Speaking of which, I also hate that little indent that's in the plastic, because that's what happens when we're done making the mold. That happens on the water tank, the tender, if you can see it, and of course, the engine itself. 2025 doesn't do that. More higher quality plastic, as opposed to cheap, which feels like a fucking knockoff. Anyways, let's put a battery inside the Flying Scotsman. And of course, if you're wondering, here's what the dates of the chassis on the tenders look like. For day 2024. before I could put the batteries inside. The wheels are basically the same from the Trackmaster Revolution, minus the center piece, which is a new mold made for it, considering it does also use the All-Engine Go chassis, and this part has been here since the very beginning. Here's the 2016, which is a lot more shorter, with a shorter switch, as opposed to the 2025 or 21 with the long red switch. Okay, let's put some batteries inside of it. Let's see how it runs. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Shame it doesn't free roll. Makes that ratchety clacking sound. But I'm not going to complain about it too much, because we've been used to it for the past 10 or so years. I also saw that I did in fact modify this 2016 Flying Scotsman with a faster motor to match up the real life Flying Scotsman. Now let's put the top back on. If I can get it to work. Yeah, there we go. And give it a test run. And now it's time to get Flying Scotsman a run on a small layout that I built together for this video. And of course, he doesn't make it over some parts of the old track because of the low activation tab. To give you a point where it looks like this piece right here. Back then, we tried to file it down to go over the old track. However, with a faster motor, you can actually make it go over it. And this is why I mentioned the loading gauge at the beginning when I was reviewing. Because they use the All-Engine Go chassis and such, they cannot fit through tunnels because they are too tall. Which is called the loading gauge for a reason. Because on the old ones, they can go through these. However, starting with All-Engine Go, and to now, they can't. So, in order to make it work, I'm going to remove the tunnel. Alright, now it's time to resume the run. I'm going to replace that track. That's a lot better. So, what do I think about the new 2025 classic Flying Scotsman? Well, honestly, I think it's a vast improvement over the 2016 version of the Flying Scotsman itself. And to be honest, I think this is like the only best tender engine that's made in the 2025 line. Although it does have some flaws, like the tenders are a bit too small compared to the large gargantuan engine. I do plan to get the load and launch barrel loader set, as well as probably Percy, Nia, and maybe Duck. But only time could tell, because I'm starting to not collect that much Trackmaster stuff anymore, because I'm moving on to HO/00 models. With that out of the way, I hope you enjoy this unscripted, rough, unfiltered thoughts review on the Flying Scotsman. And yeah, see you later.